The sound of laughter echoed across the schoolyard, but it wasn't the good kind. It was sharp, cruel, the kind that twists your stomach and makes your chest hurt. At the center of the chaos stood Maya Lark, the new girl. Her clothes were soaked, clinging to her thin frame. Her long brown hair dripped onto the asphalt, and her backpack, stuffed with old notebooks, lay half open, its contents scattered and ruined. A group of students stood nearby, holding a garden hose, their grins wide and their eyes filled with mockery. "Welcome to Ridgewood High," one of them sneered. "You needed a shower anyway." The crowd laughed. Phones were out, recording. No one stepped in. Maya blinked hard, holding back tears. Her hands trembled, but she didn't say a word. She just bent down, quietly gathering her soaked books one by one. That silence, her silence, unsettled them. "Hey, say something!" another bully shouted, annoyed that their victim wasn't reacting the way they expected. But Maya didn't. She zipped up her wet bag and walked away. That moment would have crushed most people. But Maya wasn't most people. She'd moved to Ridgewood only a week earlier. Her father, a mechanic, had lost his job back in Ohio, and her mother worked double shifts at the diner to keep things afloat. Maya had learned long ago that life wasn't fair, but kindness was her rebellion. Even when the world turned its back, she believed in giving more love, not less. That evening, after school, she went to the same bullies' neighborhood. Not to confront them, but to help. Because while the others had seen monsters in those kids, Maya had seen something else in their eyes that morning: pain. She walked past rows of identical houses until she found the one she remembered, number 62 Alder Street. A loud argument echoed from inside, voices yelling, something breaking. It was the home of Brooke Sanders, the tall blonde girl who had held the hose. Maya hesitated at the gate. Her heart pounded. She had every right to hate Brooke. But she remembered her mother's words. "People hurt others because they're hurting themselves, sweetheart. You don't fight hate with hate." She took a deep breath, and knocked. The door cracked open. Brooke's younger brother, Eli, peeked out. He looked about 10, his shirt smudged with dirt. "Is Brooke home?" Maya asked softly. Eli shook his head. She's in her room." A crash sounded from deeper inside, followed by a woman's furious voice. Maya understood instantly. This wasn't a happy home. That night, Maya couldn't sleep. She kept thinking about Brooke and that scared little boy. The next morning, while other students avoided her at school, she quietly placed a small lunch bag on Brooke's desk, homemade sandwiches, an apple, and a note that said, "Hope your day gets better. M." Brooke found it between classes. She stared at it for a long moment, her face unreadable. Then she crumpled it up, but not before slipping the apple into her bag. Days passed. The bullying stopped, but the whispers didn't. "Maya's trying to be a saint," one student mocked. "Bet she's faking it for attention," said another. But Maya ignored them. Because kindness doesn't need an audience. One rainy afternoon, as students huddled inside, the fire alarm suddenly went off. Panic erupted. The teachers rushed everyone out toward the courtyard, and that's when Maya saw it. Smoke billowed from the science lab windows. Students screamed. Someone shouted, "Brooke's still inside." Without a second thought, Maya dropped her bag and ran. She burst through the doors, her lungs burning as she searched through the smoke-filled hallway. "Brooke," she coughed. A faint voice answered from the back of the lab. Brooke was trapped behind a fallen cabinet, coughing, eyes wide with fear. Maya didn't hesitate. She shoved the debris aside with all her strength and grabbed Brooke's arm. "Come on. Move," she yelled. They stumbled out together. Just as firefighters arrived. Both were covered in soot, coughing violently. When the paramedics came, Brooke refused to let go of Maya's hand. The next day, news spread like wildfire. The girl who was bullied had saved her bully's life. Brooke didn't show up for class for 2 days. But when she did, she walked straight to Maya's desk. In front of the whole room, she said, her voice trembling. "I'm sorry.
For everything.
You didn't deserve it.
You're the bravest person I've ever met."
Then she hugged her. The room fell silent. For the first time, no one laughed. Later that week, Brooke found Maya by the bleachers. "You knew, didn't you?" Brooke asked quietly. About my mom. About home. Maya looked at her gently. I didn't know everything. But I saw the pain. And I know what it's like when no one sees you. Brooke nodded, tears streaming down her face. Thank you for seeing me. Weeks passed.
The story of the Fire Girl spread beyond the school.
Local news picked it up. Parents shared it online. But Maya didn't care about fame. She just wanted peace, for herself, for Brooke, for everyone trying to survive quietly. Yet her simple act of kindness had started something unstoppable. It began with small changes. The same students who used to laugh at her now smiled in the hallways. Someone left a thank you note in her locker. Another student she barely knew came to her for advice. Even teachers noticed the shift. Classes felt lighter, students a bit kinder. It was as if one act of selflessness had cracked something open inside everyone. But Maya's kindness didn't stop at school. Every afternoon, she volunteered at the local community center, helping younger kids with homework. One day, as she was packing up, she felt a tap on her shoulder. It was Eli, Brooke's little brother. He handed her a paper drawing, 2 stick figures holding hands under a blue sky. It's you and Brooke, he said proudly. Mom's getting help now. Brooke says you helped us. Maya's throat tightened. I didn't do much. Eli shook his head.
You did enough.
A week later, Ridgewood High announced an event, Kindness Week. To everyone's surprise, the student committee chose Maya as the guest speaker. When she stepped onto the auditorium stage, the entire school stood up and clapped. She froze, shy, unsure. But then she saw Brooke in the front row, smiling proudly. Maya took a deep breath and began. When I first came here, I thought kindness was weakness. But I learned that kindness is strength, the kind that doesn't need fists or revenge. It's the courage to see good in people, even when they don't show it. And it can change more than hearts, it can change lives. Silence filled the hall. Then slowly, people began to clap, softly at first, then louder, until the entire room erupted into applause. After the event, a teacher approached Maya. We've been thinking, she said, smiling. How would you feel about starting a student kindness club? Maya's eyes widened. A club? Yes, the teacher nodded. You already started it without realizing. Months passed. The Kindness Club became the most popular group in school. They organized donation drives, helped clean the park, and tutored kids who struggled. And Brooke? She was right beside Maya the whole time, her loud laugh now a sound of joy, not cruelty. The same hands that once held a hose now held boxes of food for families in need. One day, as Maya and Brooke packed lunches for a shelter, Brooke whispered, You know, people used to run from you. Now they follow you. Maya smiled. No one's following me. They're following what's already inside them. Brooke nodded. Guess kindness really is contagious. That night, Maya walked home under the soft glow of streetlights, her heart full. She passed by the same yard where she'd been humiliated months ago. The hose was still coiled near the wall, but it no longer felt like a weapon. It was just a hose again. She